Hey guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions about are there easier ways that you can pressure flake? Are there techniques or methods that are easier on your wrists? You know, for people that have handicaps or old injuries or whatever. And so the answer is yes. And one of the ways you can do it, I've seen older gentlemen knap with like a lap board, and this is one I made. It's just a piece of Teflon or Lexan or whatever it is, a cutting board with a layer of foam. It's actually got one layer, and then I put a second layer glued down right here on this portion, so it creates a little bit of a ledge right here that you can chip off of. If I were to do it over again, I'd probably put another 1 or 2 layers to raise it up a little bit higher, but it still works pretty good. And so how this works is put it in your lap and lay the workpiece on the board, and you work off of this ledge here. And you can either hold it down with your thumb and do it that way. And what this allows is you to keep your wrist straighter and just generate the force by pushing straight in. There's no none of this going on, so you're working straight into the piece, and you don't have to use your wrist strength as much that way. Another thing that I thought about you could probably do is to take a block of wood or some sort of material. I guess wood would be fine, and then, like, say I were to remove this portion of all the way down, so it creates a little bit of a lip sticking out. So you could put your workpiece in there, and that would prevent it from the back from rocking up. So you could glue down a little block of wood or something like that, and hold it in there, and that would hold the back edge for you. If you didn't have a lot of strength in your left hand or your thumb or something, that's something you could do that would help you. And then you push into that, and this method here is going to probably be much easier on smaller pieces, just because it doesn't require quite as much force to remove a flake. You can just make miniatures or bird points, or just smaller pieces. I don't know that there'd be any real advantage to working with a longer stick, unless maybe you could make something that come back to the bend in your elbow, maybe, and put a little crutch on here or something to give you some added support. You could really put your body weight into it that way. That might actually work really, really good. See, you never know when you're going to come up with something. So that's one way, is the lap board. Another way is Kenny Hull just released a video recently showing how he pressure flakes, and it's really interesting. It's very innovative, and he does great work. I love Kenny's work. He pays really close attention to detail and makes some really nice stuff. But anyway, how he does it is he'll drape his leather pad over his left leg, right-handed, I assume, like me. and he pinches it between his legs like this, right? And then this piece that's hanging down, he grabs the tag end and pinches it like this in his hand. And then he puts the work piece down here. I hope you guys can see that. And what happens is, by doing this, you're creating back edge support. And it allows that flake to run a little further. And this is the same way, you know, you can keep your wrist straight and just push straight into the workpiece and take your flakes like that. And these flakes are going to be running a lot further because, well, for one, you've got surface support. You wouldn't have to use surface support. You could work in a gap. You know, you can hold it. You can hold it down low and work on this end, or, you know, create a gap. You wouldn't have to use support, but this method probably was going to work better with using that surface support from the leather. But what's happening is it's giving it back edge support, and when that flake releases, the workpiece is actually moving in this direction. It's bouncing back. You know, when that crack initiates, this workpiece is bouncing. It's got tension on it, so it's wanting to go in this direction. It'd be the same thing if you were holding a piece, and right when you hit it, you were able to push into it a little bit. You'll notice a lot of knappers, really good knappers that have been doing it a long time, when they're doing percussion, they'll direct or indirect percussion, right before they strike the workpiece, they'll kind of move their hand into it. Okay, and what that's doing is it's giving the workpiece added momentum and mass, you know, from your arm and your hand, and it's getting it moving in that direction. So that flake is going to peel off there better. It's going to go farther. That's the whole back edge support thing. And you'll notice you can clamp work pieces. You can hold that thing as tight as you possibly can, like on the top and bottom like this, and take a flake, and you're only gonna get so good of results. It's only gonna go so far. Anything beyond that, it comes down to contours, and that added back edge support is gonna make it go further. I'm still learning on the support thing myself, but I've been doing it enough to see that that's how you get the flakes to go further, by that added support and added mass, and being able to trick the rock into thinking it's bigger than it is, basically. So, what else? You know, one person that flakes like this is Jason Newman. He flakes up in the air, up here, and this may be a way that you might want to try, just out of curiosity, to see if it's using, because I think it uses different muscles and stuff than flaking down here, although I could be wrong. But I did notice that when you flake up here, you can kind of keep your wrist straight also, and you can generate a lot of force up here. You know, you got your shoulders and chest and all that stuff. You're squeezing in. You're obviously going to want to wear glasses. You're working right in front of your face. But he does a lot of his pressure flaking like this, and I've only played around with it a couple of times, but it seems to work really well. And you know, he can notch a point like no other. I mean, he's one of the best around at notching, and he says that's his favorite part of napping. Not me, but anyways, this works really good for notching also. You know, so check him out. You can see how he does that on his channel. It's just Jason Newman is his YouTube channel name. So beyond that, I think just working really small pieces, you know, doing miniature work. They do make a jig that most people use for slab napping. I think those guys that make that jig, it's called JTS jigs, or JTS knapping jigs. If you look that up, I think you'll probably be able to find them, and you'll see all it is. They've got a pretty simple concept, but pretty cool that they come up with it. They've got a base, like a base, and then it comes up on the back. It's got a piece that comes up with a shelf, half round shelf, and it's got an eye bolt out here that comes up, so your issue stick goes through that eye bolt like this, and you can adjust this back and forth, your angle up and down, and it's just all 100% leverage. All you got to do is just put the tooltip on the platform and pick the back edge up, and it pops the flake. And those work really, really good on slabs, making knife blades and, you know, points like that. Although I don't know why it wouldn't work on a preform, as long as you had it close to finish, you know, percussion down. I don't know why you couldn't put a preform in there and work it the same way. You could probably even do your notching and everything right in that jig. It might take a little getting used to and practice, but so maybe check those out for sure. Other than that, I think that's about it. So my next video, I'm going to do a miniature, and I'll work in my hand, and I'll try to do some work on the lap pad as well to show you guys that can be done without a lot of trouble. Hopefully it goes well, and so yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I got. So I'll catch you on the next one. I hope that helped.